It's time for the Nintendo Pipeline. Each week we take our plungers and stick them deep down Nintendo's pipes and unclog item after item to discover what's going on in the world of Mario and friends. This week we have, I think, 9 massive festering bits of news that need to be dealt with. Number 1, Miitomo, the popular mobile game by Nintendo, their first mobile game in partnership with DNA, has received a pretty solid update. Here are the patch notes. Candy Drop, a game where you can drop sweets to get game tickets, has been added. Along with that, sweets are no longer required to listen to all of your friends' answers. Basically, the deal with that is, in case you aren't familiar with Miitomo, in the game you get a bunch of candy. Candy's pretty much pointless. There's roundabout ways to listen to people's answers, or you can use candy to buy people's answers. People never used candy. And me personally, I mean, maybe I'll have to pull it up. I don't know how much candy I have. I'm pretty sure I have absurd amounts of candy.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you can do a thing called Miitomo Drop where you get clothes and goodies and stuff like that. Or sometimes your Mii drops and you get candy. And honestly, they make it sound like such a perk. They're like, oh, you won candy. But I think every person's disappointed when they get candy in a game.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a slap in the face. And with Candy Drop, it basically now makes it so, I don't know, like it's a kind of another workaround. It's like, have you seen the episode of The Office where Pam makes the chore wheel and she spins the chore wheel and everyone's like, the chore wheel sucks? And so she makes the tiny chore wheel, and people are just so happy that it's another little wheel that they don't mind doing chores. It's basically that, where it's like, candy still sucks. They should have just got rid of it. Mm-hmm. But by turning it into another game, it at least kind of justifies that. So
yeah, and it's a pretty nifty little mini game sort of thing. It's just like a Plinko board that you kind of drop a candy down, and then it's actually pretty cool in the way that I've been able to really successfully get a lot of free game tickets out of it, because it's kind of hard. There's probably going to be strategies posted up, on the Reddit pages and stuff for it. I haven't checked any of those out for it yet, but you can kind of eye it out and get a fairly accurate idea of where your candy's going to land and get some free game tickets out of all these tickets you have. It costs $5, or not $5, but 5 candies to do one drop, and it's so that's kind of a bummer, I felt, but it does make sense because people have this extreme excess of candies. I had 150 some or something like that, and so making it 5 makes it kind of go down a bit quicker, but I guess it does make sense because you do get kind of given handed candies fairly frequently in the game. So there's also a limit to how many that you can play per day. I tried to just keep going and getting more game tickets, but it's we're closed for the day because you got, all of them that you could get. And so you get 1 free play a day too that doesn't spend any of your candies, so that's kind of cool. So you can maybe just get a free game ticket, and then you can use those on the Miitomo Drop. So it finally makes those candies something that is actually useful, because I maybe used them once to see another answer, just because it was during the initial hype of the game, and I was just alright, I'll spend a candy just to see how the function works and all that. So otherwise haven't touched it, and so this actually makes it somewhat worthwhile. It's it's a lot of luck based. But also it's just kind of fun to drop a candy and watch it go down the little board and see if you win a game piece. So
I'm going to try it right now while we're recording, because I had it pulled up. But also the things that aren't in the patch notes that we should go ahead and highlight in the pipeline. There's also the Mario T-shirt fest going on right now until August 18th.
Oh yeah.
That's part of Miitomo Drop. And so there's some really cool T-shirts. There's one where it's Toads gather on a block. There's one where it looks like Mario's honestly taking a dump in a pipe. But I think he's coming out of it, but he's kind of pushing his arms and sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
So, there's some other ones where it's Bowser, some striped t-shirts, really cool promotional art for all of it.
I did notice I went to the My Nintendo page for my missions and checking all that out, and I saw that a couple of these shirts are actually just free, so you can just go on to My Nintendo and
The
get
top
like
voted ones, yeah.
yeah, and so I got one of those just on there for no price, and so I didn't have to play the game for it, which was pretty
Yeah.
cool. So go check that out if anybody
Real quick,
hasn't.
I'm dropping a candy.
Oh.
You get a free drop every day in Miitomo.
Let's see
I'm
what you
dropping the
get.
candy. It's falling. It's falling. It's still falling. I'm giving you a complete status report on this. It's falling towards the side crap. I got one of the crap tickets.
Oh, but if you get 10 of those, you get a free game ticket.
I need a lot of those to get the.
It's not
Oh wait,
really
now
free,
it's
I guess.
shuffling. What's it? Oh, now it's doing things like that. Oh, so you can't even like figure it out, and like there's the guides online there where you can figure this out. And I have 48 candies, so I can do. How many is that? That's.
You only have 48 candies?
I guess so.
That's weird.
I think
I'm surprised.
I think I did use a lot of them to like just hear all the answers.
Yeah.
Because the more answers you comment on, the more coins you get, and I'm all about coins. Wait a second,
I thought that had a limit though too, like every day. Like once you start commenting, it just kind of stops giving you coins. But
yeah, I have 21 or 2,300 coins. I thought there was like a Zelda outfit that I could get, but maybe they got rid of it. I was so bummed. I was saving up for that, and I think I just stopped playing the game for a little bit.
yeah.
And they had this little Hylian shield that you could buy for your back, and it was 21,000 coins, and I think that it's all gone. That's really heartbreaking because I have the whole Zelda outfit.
Yeah, I missed a couple of those Zelda little pieces of clothing, which I am kind of bummed about, but I did get like the actual like couple main outfit pieces or whatever it is, so
Yeah.
I'm at least hyped about that.
Totally sucks, man, that I missed out on that. But yeah, some other updates that are in Miitomo. You can now choose whether or not you want to receive the Me Photo of the Day. I love the Me Photo of the Day, but apparently Zach hates it because he's a curmudgeon.
It just pops up every time I open my game, and then it has to do the whole thing where I'm like, why are you giving me a picture of me and Kaz's wife walking on the beach together, smiling and picking up shells, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to save this, and no, I don't want to share it, and it says, oh, why so modest? And I'm like, okay, just get me into the game, please. Like, maybe have me get into the game first, and then say, oh, do you want to check out your Me Photo of the Day, like, up in the top corner, and I'll tell you if I want to check it out. Maybe I just want to get in and change my clothes and hop right immediately back out just so I can get that mission done.
What they really need to do, and what I'm still waiting for, is one of these days they need to combine Miitomo and Pokemon Go. So you go into Miitomo, you kind of customize your little guy, then you go catch some Pokemon. Like, it's all in one.
Out in the Miitomo world?
Yeah,
Leave your house?
Like you're like me trainer, me Pokemi. Oh, there we go. I just cracked the code.
Pokemigo. Pokemigo.
Miitogo. You can now choose individually which friends you want to receive answers from. I believe this also extends to what people are in your apartment. So no longer will you go and check out your apartment and that strange acquaintance that you kind of met at a party the other day and you added your Miitomo code to their phone. Now you don't see them. You only know your bestest friends that are going to be stopping by. Also, they've added Brazilian Portuguese as a supported language or whatever. I don't really know what that even means. It just says Brazilian Portuguese is now supported. And it also says other improvements to speed and features have been implemented as well. There's other things where like the chat bubbles now have the actual words. There's other slick improvements. If you haven't played Miitomo since its launch, it's a good time to hop back in it and get your rewards.
Yeah.
Because those are big. They add up.
Yeah.
There are discounts you can get with that game. Moving on, number 2, we have 9 items in the Nintendo pipeline. Number 2, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and the 3DS is now the best selling in the series. Well deserved. It's an awesome game. Still waiting on those new amiibo for the DLC characters. But you win some, you lose some. Number 3, Lady Layton is coming to the 3DS in 2017. Pretty much the Professor Layton series, only it's Lady Layton now, so...
catchier title.
Catchier title, yeah, I agree. We talked about it in our previous recording of this episode. I don't know how much we're going to get into it now, but yeah, we haven't really been big into that franchise. It's not that I'm not drawn to it, it's just I've never really got into it. So maybe that'll be one of my hooks to get in 2017. I can maybe hop in around that time. I'm going to skip this one and save it for last. Number 4 in the notes. Number 5, Yokai Watch is coming to smartphones with new features in online battling. They're trying to get a piece of that Pokemon Go cake with collectible yokais on the go.
Only this one actually lets you battle online.
Yeah, well, I can't wait till Pokemon Go is going to add that. The interesting thing is that people don't know that because not everyone else is nerds like us. And
are you sure they're going to add that in though?
I think they've already confirmed that they're adding battling in.
Okay, cool.
And someone was at work and they were playing Pokemon Go and they're like, I wish you could battle and trade with people. And I'm like, it's coming, yo. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And we need it. Yeah, Yokai Watch. I saw actually, when I was watching Stranger Things this week, I was kind of poking around Netflix and I saw that Yokai Watch is on there. We reported that in a previous episode and I think talked about it as a snippet, but I really wanted to check it out because it looks pretty colorful and fun. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, and it might sell you more on the game, you know.
Yeah, maybe. It also has a demo available. There's a Yokai Watch demo on the eShop. Number 6, the Nintendo eShop, the Nintendo NX has had new information leak regarding its controller and the possible announcement date. We will discuss this more in the topic of the show. Number 6, which is actually number 7. No. Yeah, so we're all off. Next item of the news, Pokemon Go Plus has been delayed to September. We'll discuss more of that in the Pokeblock. Number 7, I think, Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick is, quote, a believer in Nintendo. He said in an interview, quote, we never count Nintendo out. They do it over and over and over again. So we feel pretty enthusiastic, actually, end quote. Zelnick goes on to say that Nintendo has a pattern of going off the market for some time. It's been in their nature for 150 years, and thus the Wii U was not a, quote, slump, but actually, quote, intentional. Basically, this third-party developer has the belief that Nintendo purposefully does something that's a little bit more, calm and timid, or lacking in response to having a huge success, so they can prepare another success. Which would lead to the NX being more of a biggie that could be really awesome. Maybe we'll talk about that more in the actual NX discussion about just their pattern of developing. Second to last item in the Nintendo pipeline, Nintendo is opening 3 Kirby cafes in Japan, coming as soon as this August. We were talking in the previous recording, it's a perfect place or a perfect theme and franchise for an eatery of sorts. There's like the pink puff pastry. Kirby himself eats in all these games. I looked at a few of the pictures. You guys will have to Google image the Kirby cafe because some of them are so cute, like just the towers of dessert that they have there for Kirby fans.
It's just really so perfect.
Really hoping it comes to the West. Like,
I want to go to one of these Kirby cafes and play Planet Robobot in it.
While wearing a pink morph suit?
It would be like Inception, man.
Remember those cow outfits we had when we were little? We had like these cow Halloween costumes that had fans inside to inflate them. Yeah. So we're all big and puffy. They need to make one of those, but with Kirby.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I guess I could just make one myself.
Yeah.
I could just get that cow outfit. I bet they still have them somewhere.
And then they need to make it so that your head sticking out the top is like, it's like Kirby with a hat on or something. And so your head's covered.
Are they like the eyes or something?
No.
Oh.
What? No. But no, you have this hat on and it's covering your head so you don't see like any of yourself. Like your shoes would be these big feet that have Kirby feet because you'd be like all big and inflated and then you'd be covered, but you'd have little eye holes in the hat so you could see out. But anybody looking at you would just be like, there's Kirby.
There's Kirby. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And they scope and stab him and you just deflate. I don't know my response. I guess that's just the current state of the world is that I assume if I walk around wearing a Kirby outfit, someone's going to come up and stab me. But it also led me to the thought of what other places could be fun eateries for Nintendo franchises, like the Mario Pizzeria. Anyone? Princess Peach's Peaches? That's pretty much it. That's all I got. Yoshi's Breakfast, Yoshi's Eggs, the egg and I with a Yoshi theme. Maybe these are like all Mario. What about like maybe Donkey Kong's Bananas, or Donkey Kong's Restaurant Cafe? Yeah, so maybe leave comments down below. But what I really want to ask, the question of the segment, I think should be, what eShop games would you like to have available as Nintendo Selects at retail? This comes from a story that Fast Racing Neo and Steam World Collection will be part of a thing called the Nintendo eShop Selects. Basically, previously exclusive games to the eShop are now going to be available at retail, which is physical, in stores, in really cool little boxes. We were noting in the last recording that previously, like, Nintendo Selects kind of have like the lesser appealing box art because it's like the cover art's kind of squished and it's kind of bombarded with this whole like, hey, this is basically the late to the party border. But with these, it's actually kind of embellishing it in such a way where it's like, yo, these are the best of collections that you can't find anywhere else. Really makes you want to wait to pick up Fast Racing Neo for when the physical copy becomes available in the West. And makes me just hope that other games do. I think, there's GameStop is very vocal about how powerful it is for a person to go into a store and see the retail version and be able to look at the back of the box and talk to their parents or their friends and see the game there in person compared to shopping online. My wife and I were at Barnes & Noble the other day, and it's like, I don't know if I'm actually going to end up buying these books at the store, but still there's a power like in the retail area. And so to have that presence there for some of these eShop games, I mean, I'm sure there's people that have no idea Fast Racing Neo is even a game, or that, Air Race or Gunman Clive, like all these eShop exclusive games, or Typo Man. We love Typo Man. Mm-hmm. And like, Zine, if you're listening, like, just find a way to get that published, like, retail-wise, because that stuff just is fun for a collector. It makes it so your game's actually out there. I mean, maybe there's some sort of science that says, or statistics that say that games sell less out there or something, or I don't know. I know that the Yacht Club Games with Shovel Knight said that there is a certain kind of risk reward with these indie games that are $20, because a lot of people, like GameStop and stuff, they don't want to have their games out there for $20 because it makes it look like they have cheaper products in their store. And they'll just put them in like in a bargain bin. So that's why Shovel Knight was initially $25 at retail compared to its $20 digital version. But I do definitely think this is a cool direction for maybe some of these eShop games, and it could be another unique and cool approach for Nintendo to take with these indie games that a lot of other publishers aren't doing. Rocket League and Shovel Knight are one of the few examples of these games that get physical releases after being digital. So,
yeah, and we also made the point that, like, versus the other selects, which have already been released at retail, and it kind of seems almost like you get late to the party a bit, and kind of is almost an embarrassment in your collection, because it's like, I actually didn't own Mario Galaxy when it came out. I got the special one with this ugly border around it that has this big label plastered on it that says Nintendo Selects and all that. These ones have a little bit of a charm, because not only are they orange for the eShop, but they have never been released physically, and so the only way that you can own these is through this version, physically anyway, and it is like a standout in your collection instead. It's a really cool thing that almost looks collector-y, and like you'd want to have all of the eShop selects,
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have like just a whole collection of like, these are my eShop selects, like, I'd love that. And so, hopefully we get, I don't know if they actually were confirmed for the West, because I just saw the tweet by Nintendo UK, but they tweet more often anyway. And so that's how we're gonna close out this segment, is just leave down below your suggestions for eShop exclusive games that you would love to have a physical release, and what you think about the whole thing.